Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to make a video about the Trinity Nyx rework. This is going to be mainly a bit of a yapping session with me and a friend who plays the characters a lot more than I do, basically at all. Um, yeah, hope you guys enjoy. This isn't going to be really in depth as like my other videos on the topic, but hope you guys enjoy. How to play Nyx? We'll go to the simulacrum. I'll send you a fucking invite when you get the fuck on, and then
Okay, I'm already on. I have to tell you how to play Nyx.
No, you don't need to tell me how to play her because it's gonna be completely fucking irrelevant because the character doesn't fucking have a kit to play with. Um,
True, she actually does.
why do you think I don't play the character? Trinity
Talk to
actually, Trinity has potential to be played with. It's just whether or not you actually want to play the character. Uh,
Yeah, as a late great Mr. Nova Umbra said, he will never be upset if there's ever a Trinity on his team. However, he will be upset if he sees a fucking Loki on his team.
yeah. I
Okay, so
believe
you
I
have those.
have. Okay, I think I have all five. Right? This is all of them.
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty
okay.
much. I believe so, yeah.
Because the
Yeah,
assimilate is the one that you
yeah,
get from Nightwave. I'm pretty sure this is the Nightwave one.
right, yeah.
Because that means this is the PvP one, which is why. Okay, whatever. And then that means this is her other four, so this would be her fifth one, yeah. Which is another absorb augment. I just realized. So there's two absorb augments. Kind of weird. I don't know what I was doing this build. I'm gonna be completely honest. Obviously it
This
has to do
is when
something
I
with absorb.
fucking asked you, this is where I asked you if you could make Nyx useful, and you actually tried sitting there for like 30 minutes trying to make her work, and you gave up at the end because you were like, this character's dog shit.
Yeah, I don't really know what I was gonna do with this build. I have literally no faith in it at all. Her passive. This is kind of redundant because you
It,
have mind control
it,
and is it
like,
chaos? Yeah, like these ones, I don't. They already take control of the enemy, so they're not shooting at you that much, anyways. So I don't really get the point of this.
it's supposed to make them less accurate, but they'll still fucking hit you.
Well, doesn't make
When
sense
I play
because
her, I
okay,
believe
well, if
people
you're bullet
fucking still hit
jumping,
you
you're
with her.
sliding. Okay, you're already enemies are like less likely to shoot you anyways because they're programmed that way. So if you're just like zooming around the map, it doesn't fucking matter. So
Oh
like
yeah, if you're just
20%
zooming
less,
around, the only
like
time you're gonna get
20%
hit
less
is if
accurate means nothing.
some Exilus enemies gonna fucking snipe you out the fucking air, and that's the only time you're gonna get hit.
Okay, this one I actually think has potential, right? So it's just the
Mind
AI is
control
retarded.
is, yeah, the AI is super fucking retarded. That's all.
I think I heard something about them making it so it doesn't like hide behind corners because it doesn't die
Yeah,
anyways.
it yeah, they're gonna make it where it doesn't hide behind corners and it actually like tries to stick with the character Nyx, like whoever's playing her.
We agree Psychic Bolts is probably her best
Yes,
ability.
single-handedly best ability.
Even though it can literally be replaced by another helmet ability.
By any fucking other armor strip, yeah, no.
I would say if Psychic Bolts didn't exist, I would think this would actually
Yeah,
probably be her.
chaos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think this would be her
it's her
best.
second best.
And I think this is really where her kit should lean into is this one ability,
Hmm.
which I think that's kind of what they're wanting to do with her new kit by giving her a bunch of
Yeah,
crit with it. But like,
that's what they're going with her next crit or her next rework. Yeah, I wish that her they changed her four to be like a better like nuke instead of like people have to shoot at you. Like I wish it was you did something else besides like absorb. It doesn't make sense. Like any video I watch of her is just absorb shouldn't exist. Like obviously like you have her augment ability that will make it where you can walk around and just stay in me and fucking build, but like
okay, but absorb literally makes no sense. So that drain, like, it doesn't look like it's a lot, right? Okay, so let me get
no,
max.
it is a fucking ton.
No, no, like when you look at the numbers, right? Like it's like okay, that doesn't sound like that bad, right? Okay, and then and then we get this, right? We just come over here, and then that is awful. Dude. Oh my god! And then we pop it, right? Cool. It knocks them on their ass, and they don't die.
Yeah, and they don't
Uh,
die. Yeah, it's amazing,
um.
bro.
Okay. So I don't really understand the point of what absorb is supposed to be doing.
But
Well,
like that, it doesn't make sense because like the if I'm not mistaken, this energy drain goes off of damage. So if you're going against Steel Path, and the higher you go, the worse the ability's gonna
well,
go.
yeah. Once you reach level cap, you're getting shot once, and all your energy's gone.
You get shot once, and your energy is just
I still don't get the point of this ability, even with like the movement augment that allows you to walk around, because it still logically doesn't make sense. And this seems like the type of ability that you would get on Mag, because this
Yeah.
looks like her like is it polarized or whatever like the bubble like thing is? I forget what it is.
Is it, yes. No, I don't think it's polarized. I think is it magnetized?
I don't remember. It's the one with the bubble,
I
but
don't know.
like
It's her two. I know what you're talking about.
it seems like they literally just copied this and
Copied it, slap it onto her for yeah, pretty much.
and it makes more sense on her because her abilities around magnetized. But like, why is this absorb? Like, what does this have to do with like
Uh,
manipulating people? I
little,
don't get this.
a little side note, like for the longest time, I thought like Nyx's for like Azorb was just on Mag because like they looked so similar. I just thought like they were the same, and it wasn't until like a little bit later when I played Nyx that no, Azorb is like on Nyx, not anything related to Mag. I'm just like okay, bro.
Well, and this also begs the other question, right? Because obviously you have the Stalker. The Stalker has the same ability, which if you play him in Deviri, you get this ability, but it's done way better because it absorbs the damage, but then it reflects it in like slashes, so slash procs, which
Right.
is obviously slash being arguably the like the most potent damage type in the game. Um, it's just a way better
No, no,
version of
no.
this.
There's no argument. It simply is, brother.
I mean,
There's no.
I don't disagree, but I mean, there's some people be like,
If somebody's
well,
disagreeing with that,
actually,
you got problem. I
well,
don't. If
actually, do
somebody's
you know
well,
anything about
actually,
gas? Okay. So I don't necessarily understand the point of this ability. If anything, if any of her kit legitimately got reworked as to a new ability, I would hope it would be this because it just doesn't make
yeah,
sense for her kit.
yeah. That's what I was hoping whenever I saw Nyx's rework. I hope that it did.
And I've heard for the longest time that if Nyx just had some type of invisibility in her kit, she'd have like one of the best kits in the game. Which I'm
Same.
I'm gonna that don't sit well with me, bro. Okay, Loki has an invis and he still has a dog shit kit. That giving some character a way to like avoid damage entirely because you break the AI of enemies does not mean the character is just going to be good. I don't understand how that would even work because Chaos and Psychic Bolts are really the only abilities worth using in her kit. And so, which means you're going to subzoom off mind control and or absorb, unless for some reason you want to keep one or the other, or keep both, like I would probably because I don't care for Helmet. I do hope this actually does get some like needed like touches. I don't know what they do because obviously I saw like the drain got reduced. I would assume the damage on it got probably reworked somehow that it actually like maybe percentage based. But even then, I have no clue, and this is how like uninformed I am about her kit. Because literally all I saw from her actual full on rework was that like, oh, she does red crits now. Cool. She's literally just
Yeah,
Haro.
her
Um,
passive. Yeah, they literally
like,
gave her like they literally gave her fucking Frost's augment. Like just put it on passive. Like everybody was asking for Frost. Like, bro.
all right. Anyways, moving on to augments. Mind Freak. This I think is pretty neat. 500% damage for anything just sounds neat, but like obviously we're talking about AIs doing the damage. So
Yeah.
how do you feel?
Um, pretty much the same way on paper. It looks good, but thank God it's gonna be in the fucking rework.
You use mind control, and this is like gives them the headache or whatever, and then you pop mind control to go with it, and then they all get controlled. I think that would be a cool like combo between the two. Um,
Jesus, I just thought about it, bro. Oh my God, can you imagine a Nyx working like how Necros is for? Is it his for where
yeah,
all
his
the
for.
shadows come up? Just like, bro, Jesus, the
I mean,
damage would be insane.
I would much prefer that, and she would also have way more survivability because of it, because that's way more enemies you're taking control over, and they're not shooting you no longer. So, yeah, I think that'd be really good. And then Mind Freak would be like massive DPS because that's like 10 dudes in a room, basically instantly 500% damage, especially if it's a bunch of gunners or whatever. Now, the Psychic Bolts augment 3 additional Psychic Bolts. Obviously, just more Psychic Bolts. This is obviously S tier ability because it's her best ability in the first place. So,
Best
I,
argument. There's not much
yeah,
else on.
like
Best.
I don't know how you would disagree with this. Like, oh, that's not mandatory. Like, if you're going to play the
Really?
character, you need to be using Psychic Bolts. I don't know what to tell you. So, Chaos. This is basically, if I just understand correctly, it's just increasing the area. Just that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. I
Okay.
don't really use it to be honest with you. I forgot that was an argument. I
And
forgot
again,
that's what I did.
so yeah, it increases the area, but decreases the duration, which is like it's an augment. Why does it have to have a negative?
I don't know, man. It's kind of like the same thing with Wukong, where it would give you like. other people can go invisible, and it's like, thanks, but it does nothing for me, so why the fuck would I
Uh,
use it?
yeah, here's a PSA to DE if you're somehow watching this or anyone who has half a fucking brain can see this. If you're going to give me a support tool, make sure it doesn't punish me or it also includes myself. There is no reason for me to pick up, say, like for Neja with like Warding Halo, where I can give half my Warding Halo to my teammates. I'm literally losing a mod slot because of that. Why would I ever fucking waste that when my team already should have an ability to survive? That's fucking retarded.
Whenever I can just put another mod that mass nukes, or not mass nukes, mass like increases one of my own abilities, like
Yeah, his
durability or something
divine,
like
like
that.
his divine spears, right? Like that alone would clear out pretty much every enemy in the area, which is far more useful as a like it's because a CC. The best way to CC is to kill everything. So why would I give them protection when I could just kill everything in the room anyways? So absorb. Wow, you can move. That's crazy.
People use this as a build. There are builds out there that just allow you to walk around immune with it. It has its uses. I don't use it because I don't think that's how you're supposed to play Nyx. But
I don't
then
think she has the
again, what
ability
do I know?
personally, but I don't
Oh
disagree.
yeah, no, personally, yeah, same. I don't think the ability should be there in the first place.
But I also find it really weird that this isn't an Exilus mod. Um,
Yeah.
because say like the closest equivalent I can think to this is Mace's Waltz,
Ugh.
and
I
like
love that thing.
that's an Exilus ability. Why wouldn't this be that? If you're just giving her basically the ability to walk at least somewhat, or not even walk, just to move, why wouldn't you do that? And to be honest, why is it like movement speed in general when it's just like why not just get full range of movement? Like you can bullet jump and shit like that. Because I make this way more useful. Because now she's not only taking damage, but she's also getting shot less, which means she's taking less drain on it overall. So this seems like a very poorly implemented mod. We have Singularity, which is the other absorb mod, and it drags enemies into it. Anything to
Arguably, this
add?
should just be your base fucking. I didn't even know that was a fucking augment. To be honest with you, like
uh,
I know it exists, but I don't have it. And
um,
honestly, reading it, I think that should just be her four right now. Like, just make that her four.
you know what? We could test this out because I don't think I've ever actually seen this in action. Um, this is probably gonna get me killed, but why I just pop? It probably wouldn't matter. And I just threw my glaive on accident. We'll run over here
You
and let's
try
see
to
how
hit
this.
me with your glaive, man. What the fuck?
Whoa,
Oh, that's how it works.
whoa, that's kind of bizarre. It's like a CC. That's pretty neat. That has uses.
I The only thing that I
God
think is
damn! Holy
yo, God,
shit!
what are y'all doing over there? Yo, what
Okay,
the fuck?
okay.
All right, take noted. Singularity broken as fuck. You
That's
want to
actually
ragdoll somebody? Use singularity. God damn.
okay. I've never seen anyone use this. I've never heard this be talked about. So that's the first time I've ever seen this in use. Singularity, pretty decent mod. It seems like okay. Does this build look
Yo,
viable? It's like no, Nyx isn't viable. Period. So this is a bit.
Nyx is not viable. Period. Dog shit. F tier Warframe. Next build.
Like, dude, that bothers me so much when people are like, oh, dude, every Warframe is literally viable. No, every weapon is literally viable when you put viral
I
slash
hate,
on it.
bro.
Like,
I
it's
hate
not the
motherfuckers
frame.
that do that shit. Like
It
I'll
is not
watch
the frame.
videos like on Warframes and stuff like that, and they'll be like, "This character," like, and they'll say, "Oh, every character can go to Steel Path," and it's like, yeah, every character with a fucking gun can go to fucking Steel Path. Yeah, you're right. Isn't her actual name supposed to be pronounced Titania or some shit?
Yeah, it's supposed to be Titania, and that's because of the poem by what's his name Shakespeare, Midsummer Night's Play or some shit. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, because it's Titania the Fairy Queen and Oberon the Fairy King, which is why he's got goat legs for some reason.
I either forgot about it or I just didn't know.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm glad you forgot about it, or you didn't know, because I completely forgot how to fucking spell Trinity with a T, and even though it's alphabetical, I still can't fucking find this shit. Steinax, Titania, Trinity, okay, there we go. Okay, we're good.
Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh.
So ideally, I would start the video. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to talk about Trinity. However, I'll probably do that when you're not here, because I usually do that and you're like facing at a rock or some shit at my ship or something like that. I don't know. Um, if you know how my videos start, that's
Uh,
basically how they start.
yeah, I watch your videos. I know how they work.
Anyways, so ideally, I want to talk about her abilities first. So this I think is ass. Are we in agreement?
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much.
This is fucking useless. Are we in agreement?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's mostly her her helmet's
This is
ability,
her
right?
best ability. Are we in agreement?
There's debate with that one, but
Okay.
yeah, pretty
If
much.
if energy, okay, if energize or whatever the fucking the
The
arcane
only
existed.
time that the only reason why I say that is because there is a build, like I said, with her true damage that can just nuke rooms with it, but that's like with only certain. That's not how you're supposed to play Trinity. Trinity.
Okay. What I mean
But
is okay. If we go here,
in normal, like how you play her, no, that's
okay.
not her best
If
ability.
okay, fuck, I don't have it. If fuck, if this didn't exist, we would agree, right?
Yeah, if that didn't exist, yeah, let's agree.
Link
Link
is
is
mid.
unironically her
Is
best build.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think it's mid. DR
I,
isn't really. I
well, it depends.
bro, 75 DR right here. We don't need it from this.
I mean, yeah, but it stacks.
That's true, but 75 DR. Okay, and then we come here, right? Okay, we get adaptation, and then we also put on a fuck ton of shield anyways, and we get all our shield back from using
No,
this. What
you
is
do.
it? What?
That's the build that you do. Ooh, Mr. Fucking uh, energy tank over here, bro.
Okay, now talking about Trinity's augments. Pool of life. I actually don't know what this does. Four health orbs drop 100%. Okay, so it's just stupid. Uh,
Yeah, it
um,
takes the thing that her 4 can do and her 2 can do and put them in one mod.
well,
That
yeah,
is her ability that is usually augmented off, or not
yeah,
augmented off,
I was
helmeted
about
off,
to
my
say
bad.
that. Like, this is already her worst ability, and you gave her objectively the worst augment that she has. Why would you do this? This is like a double whammy, bro. Like, there's no reason to run this ability at all. I don't think there's any point in talking
What
about
fuck?
this.
Because, you know,
Anyways,
that's
Energy Vampire. Um,
goaded.
I don't disagree. I think this is a solid mod, but is it overkill?
Is it overkill? That's a good question. Is it overkill?
I
No,
mean,
no, it's
obviously,
not overkill. I love shield getting. Fuck you.
okay. I mean, I get that, but we already have blessing. So, is it overkill?
Yeah.
Abiding link, or abiding link, whatever you want to fucking pronounce it. I don't give a shit. Reduces armor rating by 60% on link. Obviously, I know you can do kills with this in a weird way. It seems kind of goofy.
I think it's good. Like I see where they're going with it. I really like it, but the only thing that holds me back, and thank God they're fixing in the rework, is the beautiful Link only has a max of 3 people, and it's just really it feels weird only going after 3 people the entire time.
With that being said, I think Champion's Blessing, obviously the best ability, so this is obviously just an auto slot because it's the best ability anyways. Your thoughts?
For Champion's Blessing, I think on paper it's good. Like it looks good. Like that's a lot of crit chance that you can get. My thing is that it's health. Not a lot of people are like getting low on health because shield gate procs and then they'll go for their shield gate and then they'll keep going and then just their health will never get changed. So it's very hard to proc or champion's blessing. Obviously,
I
if you have like a Naros on your team and it gets one, you pop it in. I'm pretty sure you'll have like all of it. But
okay, I understand that, but that could literally be fixed with one simple issue or one simple change, right? Because it just makes it health regen in general, and it doesn't connect to the actual shield. Because obviously this gives you shield anyways, so that's kind of like a net negative to the overall augment. Um, if they just made it that like if you're just your health regen anyways counts, like you're just healing them. Uh, for example, what is the augment? Is it Umbral Intensify or not Umbral Intensify? It's Archon Intensify, right? How when that causes healing or whatever, that would give you like an extra 30% strength. Ideally, I feel like
right,
it should work the same here. It's just on activation of a healing ability. Now, to be fair, that's basically just giving you what is this like 350% crit. Um,
yeah, Max, yeah,
Obviously, I think that would be kind of
for
goofy.
just popping blessing. Yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, it's already your best ability. I don't really see the problem with it unless you have like an Inaros with you or maybe a Clairvo, which even then Clairvo's like overguard gating. So I don't really know how you would practice adaptation. Okay, That's like 80-ish% basically DR when you do like the math calculations.
About
Then
80, yeah, most
and
of the
then
time.
Link, that's 75%, and then just activating Blessing gives you another 75%.
That's a lot
And
of
th
DR.
and then not to mention shields alone get 50% DR just off rip. Like
Yeah, shields
so
alone get 50. You get Link, and then I, with my build, since I have Eclipse on it, I'm getting another 75 on it. So, uh, if my math is correct, since it doesn't all get added
it's
together,
multiplicatively, yeah.
it should be I'm taking like a third of what they're due. Like I'm doing like of their damage. I'm only
No,
taking like a
it's
3
it's
point
it's
something.
it's it's less than that. Like
It's probably like 1% or some shit.
you're effectively taking okay. It's like it's better to like write it in EHP to make like the numbers make sense. You're probably getting close to unironically like a million shield if you have like primary direction shit
Yeah,
like it
yeah,
is
that does
that.
sound right because the guy that I watched, he said that you're effectively having like a lot more shield than what it says.
And literally all you need to do is make sure your link is like constantly being touching people. That's really the only like negative. And like if that's the only negative, like I mean, dude, we you're
And
pretty much gold.
Link has 20 meters. Like if you don't have somebody in your radius, that's kind of like a you problem.
I guess we'll start with Nyx. Passive. Critical chance increase. That's huge. Like this could go on literally any character, and it would be considered goaded. Um,
I mean,
so
yeah,
this is. I don't even remember what the old one is anymore at this point. It's been so long, and I don't care. I don't want it to come back. Um,
don't care. Didn't ask. Goodbye.
Anyways, moving on to mind control. This got a hell of a glow up, dude. It is actually you can take this into Steel Path and it'll kill shit now, which is hilarious.
Yeah,
Um,
it's really good.
I do think it's kind of derpy to watch them like walk around like 2 times speed.
It's a lot better than what it was. Like
I
really
would like to
serious.
see it get like the thrall treatment where when they die they leave like the shit cloud or whatever that makes more people. I would love to
Hmm.
see that so that we can keep spreading. Um, but that would be the only real like change to this that I would say would be meaningful. Psychic bolts. It was already her best ability, and they just made it better. Like the fact this actually will like seek more targets like on kill is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Not to
and
mention
then on
the
top of that, they also armor strip, and like they take it takes the armor and it gives it to you.
yeah, it gives you shield. And it gives overguard, which that's 2 gates.
Yeah, that's two
Um,
gates. Like it is insanely hard to kill Nyx, probably. At least now it is. I would say it's pretty hard.
this literally this one ability makes her completely viable to like level cap. If this didn't exist, she would still be playable, but wow,
Hmm.
this is wild. Chaos. So I run Chaos Fear, like the augment. I like it just because people can continue to walk into it and then get all, let's get
Yeah.
retarded in here. but
Oh
so that's the thing that I like about it. I do like how it's immediately 10 stacks of radiation. So if you don't want to run Chaos Fear, that's still huge because they're going to be basically CC'd for quite a while.
yeah. Hmm.
Um, there really isn't any downside to this ability, except maybe the cost. With running Blind Rage, 116, almost 120 cast is oof. But yeah,
Congrats.
Chaos, it's all right. It's a CC. Like there really isn't much to say here. You use this and then Psychic Bolts, and then the whole room dies. That's pretty much how it plays. Absorb is still dog shit. Like you can't make this. I don't. You just can't make this ability good because now they gave it
I
like
saw some builds with it. I saw some people playing with it, and they were putting out some really good damage with it. I still held the opinion that it shouldn't be on her kit, but I mean, I've seen some people do some really good damage with it. They've made it
so.
scale a lot easier, and it doesn't just your energy.
Well, the thing is, it's such a huge energy cost because it's 75 on cast, which if you're running Blind Rage, again, we got 116, almost 120. That's a huge energy sink. Now, obviously, if you have Arcane Energized, then this is completely irrelevant. But um, the benefit that they did give this, though, that I actually do appreciate is that it buffs her like for damage, which is
Hmm.
huge.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, would you rather use this and just like sub zooming off her roar? I mean, like if you really just care about damage, then
Me personally, I'm nourished. I'm a nourished fan.
It does make her immune for a time, which is cool. Like when after she pops out
It's
of
like
it.
an oh shit button.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, again, you have to have the energy in the first place, which is the biggest issue with this. I think if they dropped it down to say like 50 energy cost, I think that'd be fine.
What do you
Uh,
mean, bro? Energy isn't a problem, bro. You got that pay to win arcade.
I get that. Like Arcane Energize is so strong. If having that is like you're playing a completely different game at that point. Which is the
Bro,
problem
I
because of how
remember
early
when you
you can
got that
actually get
shit
this.
for Ember, bro.
Well, that's the problem because of how early you get this character, and then you see these numbers. Now, to be fair, Blind Rage is still something I don't know how many people actually know about the Orokin vaults, and when you're a new player, but that's something you're gonna get eventually. Like
You
it's
either
not.
don't buy it or you don't get it, or you just will never farm it because you just never know.
Well, that's the thing, and at a certain point, you're gonna get it. Like it's
Right.
is the de facto way to get as much like strength as possible, like with a single mod. Um,
hmm
and
I'm pretty
so
sure the only one that comes close is Precision Intensify, right? But that's only on for
yeah, that's
fours.
precision intensify because precision intensify is 90 and maxed out blend rage is 99. So they're pretty much neck and neck, but that's for one ability. And I mean, to be fair, some fours are good, a lot of them are pretty bad, but it depends on who you are. I do think absorb is better, but doesn't make it
I think
good.
it's better.
Now talking about the changes to our augments, Mind Freak, that is a huge percentage increase. 1,000% damage is wild. That's almost
It's a
shocking
lot
to
of
look
damage.
at as a mod. Um, the plus 25% movement speed is also nice. That applies to attack, so they attack more. The attack speed I think is kind of meh. It will help them like shred enemies when they're like when you do have like the mind control. But the
hmm
only one I really feel like this matters on is if you were to mind control a melee unit. Which why are you doing that? Like maybe infested, maybe, but like you should be going after like large units like heavy gunners and stuff like that that can actually like delete units. So there's no real reason for the actual attack
Motherfucker
speed.
motherfucker rolls up on some Exodus units and just, you're mine now.
It is pretty amusing to watch a dude with like a butcher knife or whatever just run up and just one tap everything, but uh,
Oh, it's so goddamn funny. It's so goddamn funny.
I would definitely run this in the build, especially if you want to use the mind control ability. Like, there's no reason not to have this if you actually plan on using mind control. I'd put this as like a B plus, like a this is like a rating.
hmm
Psychic bolts. Well, it's already her best ability, so therefore it's already a default S tier. The fact you're getting three additional psychic bolts from her normal six, so you get up to nine, and since now on kill, they will shoot out and get more, which means if you're nuking rooms, and let's be honest, you're probably using like one of the highest rated weapons in the game in the first place. That's not very hard to do. And then it also adds radiation, which again, she gets more bonus. Yeah, I can't speak. She gets more bonuses for crit chance for having more people irradiated. But also that means you're not getting shot as much, so you're getting more off of the shield and overguard because now you're not getting hit constantly, so you can actually build up your shield and your overguard because it's pretty much just a instant CC.
Yeah, it's they took the best ability and they threw it up and they said, "Here, take a free buff." And they did it with the augment too, for no goddamn reason at all.
But yeah, this is an auto slot on any next build. If you don't have this, you're playing the character wrong. Hot take. Chaos Sphere. This one I honestly would rate is probably like a C or D. There's no reason for you to actually run this unless you just like the gimmick, which I do. Um, Again, it just basically is a giant AOE that enemies can walk into, and it'll make them go dirt to dirt. Uh, there's really isn't much to say here. This did not get changed at all, other than the fact that Chaos is just now better in general. Assimilate. Um, this got
Arguing
changed.
for dog shit fucking ability doesn't make it a good ability.
It They completely changed this because the four itself is completely changed because now before you would just sit in it, you would deactivate it by pressing the button again, but since they made singularity or absorb whatever it is, yes, absorb is like my bad. um since now it's just a tap one cast and then it's over, like it's got a 5 second duration and then it's over.
hmm
This allows you to stay in it. So if you want old absorb back, this is basically what you'll do. It does say it has energy drain and the area of effect is halved, which is like, why nerf it? I don't get it. It just that feels really weird. unless the buildup that you can get here is overcapped for the damage boost, then maybe that would make sense. But it still says on the ability there's a cap. So someone who has much better knowledge of the game than I do would have to figure that out. I just don't see the reason to run this because the Zorb's not good in the first place, and you're basically at this point you're trying to make it good, and that's not good enough.
Yeah. Um, like I said, I've already said it. I've seen people do like put out really good damage with Exort, but like you are actively really fucking trying, and going through all that work for just one ability is not worth it when you can just use her fucking two and her three and then get her passive and then just mass nuke the room with the weapon. It's just inefficient.
Singularity did not change. Now we did test this. This is pretty funny. Like, it
It
just
is pretty funny.
you
I
just
didn't know it did
launch,
that.
yeah, you just launching people across the room like you're playing Mag or something like that is just amusing. Um, if you do run this, it is literally for meme factor. There's no other reason because she has like three other CC abilities already, so there's no real reason to run that for this. But if you have it, then it's just for the fun factor, and that's literally all of her augments. Only like two of them got meaningful changes, that being Mind Freak and Pacifying Bolts, but the other three you can pretty much play without. Okay, Trinity. The biggest thing she got was the passive, in my opinion. This is the strongest change she got, other than her one, which we'll talk about in a second. But the ability just to have a shit ton of energy and that give like half, which by the way, 50% is not shit, um, to your teammates' health. It's such a nothing burger buff that you. This is almost like a day one, like Warframe like type of passive to have. I don't see the point because even if you're running like Prime Flow, which I'm currently am on this character, 640 as far as energy goes is a lot, but so 320 extra health for all the people you're playing with is kind of dumb. That's not helping anyone, and so unless you're running like full like blue Tau forges for like energy, then maybe you get something out of this. But if anything, it shouldn't have been 50%. It should have been 100. But even then, that still does not make it a good passive. Any thoughts?
I relatively agree. I mean, it gives more health. The only thing I can see for a positive out of it is that you give more health to people. So that means that Champion's Blessing you can heal, or you have a higher chance to heal people with Champion's Blessing. But other than that, it's
And I'm trying to think of like what characters could actually use this because Inaros can heal himself. Nidus can heal himself. There's just really no reason to have something like this because it would only buff like health tank frames, and if you're not playing a health tank who's already squishy, which you need to be modding for health in the first place, but whatever. Um, I just don't see the value in it. That this passive is actually fucking trash. This could go back to being reworked, and I don't think people would care. As for her one, I actually think this is pretty neat. So before Well of Life, or well, I don't even remember. Was it always called Well of Life, or I'm being like dumb?
yes,
Okay.
yeah, it was
Um.
always.
So you would do the whole sacrificial thing, which I find it weird that you shoot them. It heals you. Like why? But whatever. So it would heal you before. It still does that. But now it gives you a revive, right?
Hmm.
That's cool. That's like the only meaningful feature of this. Giving her the ability to revive is huge. Now you would obviously need to like start modding this for radius so you can get that huge range on it. So the way you don't have the teammates like on the other side of the map who's or even sometimes just rooms because some of the rooms in this game can be huge and not get affected by this. Now to be fair, I do have an issue with this and it's the cooldown for the immortality. A 60-second cooldown is kind of a lot, and if you're dying, it's either on accident or it's because the person you're playing with is playing content that they are literally not prepared for. And in that case, you're going to need that 60-second cooldown to be just gone. Um, does it
Yeah,
really
you're probably never
matter?
gonna save them, bro.
Yeah, I mean I agree. I mean you shouldn't be playing Trinity. That's the problem. I mean you could just play like any like mass nuke frame. That would be far better in that situation because if they can't have anything to die to, then they're that's when they're most safe. Uh, but I do think it's neat. That's the fun part, I guess.
Yeah, I'm really happy that they gave it something else than it just being a I sacrifice to the elder gods and it just sit there and does jack diddly nothing.
I do think the max targets could have got changed with Link to have more scaling with strength, but I guess that's kind of like a neither here nor there, really. Um,
I thought you could hit three people with it now.
you can have up to three, but like it doesn't scale in strength though.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's what you're talking about.
Um, Energy Vampire, this is as far as I'm aware exactly the same. It just gives you energy.
If I remember correctly, you are correct. I don't remember seeing really anything about uh energy vampire from patch notes.
And I would honestly argue this is actually it's better now because before what you would ultimately do is you'd run negative duration, so that way you get all the energy burst as quick as possible. And now, the longer the
Oh,
duration you have, the more burst you get, so you actually get more energy back from it.
I forgot
So
about that.
it is better now, like Post Malone better now. But
Yep, I will
uh,
say.
That I don't think that makes it a great ability. I mean, if you're new to the game and you pick up a Trinity, I mean, this is always gonna be nice to have. Energy at like low level content is kind of something hard to come by. So
Yeah,
giving a frame that can generate energy is always something that's pretty useful. And my cat is in the background making noise. That's awesome. Um, I don't really think there's much to say here. It's just free energy, and it would already do that
yep,
before.
yeah.
Link, any damage link is now transferred to nearby enemies. I don't know if it always did that. I don't remember it. It very much could have.
Yes,
Okay, so it did reflect damage. I know it
yes.
just. I mean, the main reason to use this is the DR. You don't really care that it's reflecting damage, especially when it's like because I think the damage negation that you get from this also reflects to them. So even though you're taking like two damage and it's being reflected to people who have like 20,000 armor, like that's also mean they're taking like two damage. So it doesn't really matter. Um,
Hmm.
I could see the actual damage share get a buff on this, but it doesn't really need it. Like you're not using it for that feature. Now unless you're using like the whole marked for death like cheese build, I don't really see that being that useful in the first place. Um, its DR didn't change. It does scale on strength now, so you get more links. Again, I'm confused because this has not been clearly answered if like each link is 75% or you need all links to equal 75%. And if that's the case, then you don't want high strength because that means you have more enemies you need to feed up to, which is why I'm leaning on the fact I don't think it is 75 for all links. I think it's 75 per link, which in a game where everything's multiplicative, that would make a lot of sense because you're pretty much never reaching 100%. And um, that's probably for the best because then you literally will never be able to die. So you're probably getting up to like a 95% damage reduction, which means you have like insane shields or health depending on what kind of playstyle you're doing. However, I mean it's going to be incredibly difficult to break your shield in the first place. Um, so yeah, you should be shield gating with this character. That's just my opinion. If you find a way to health tank somehow, enjoy that, I guess.
Good fucking luck. You're gonna be shield getting more often than you are actually health taking.
Which gets into the actual problem with blessing. So blessing is a free. Let's call it for what it is. It's free DR with a free shield refresh. Um, it heals you. It does do that.
But that's not gonna happen.
Exactly. You're not taking health
It is
damage
an oh shit button, my guy. That is all that goddamn ability is.
unless you are fighting infested and they have toxic enemies or whatever. There is no way you are taking health damage. It's just not possible with how much DR you are stacking and the amount of shield generation you're constantly getting. Especially whenever you have vampire or energy vampire with the vampire leech thing, that's also giving you shield. So you're getting so many ways to get shield back. It This is honestly kind of laughable, especially when you get into how Champion's Blessing is supposed to work, which is a good segue into the augments. Which, since we ended off on Champion's Blessing, we'll talk about Champion's Blessing because that's the one that gets shafted. The fact you have to heal to get the crit chance is kind of dumb because you're not taking health damage, which means I feel like, unironically, if you're using this for yourself and you're trying to trigger it, you need combat discipline or you need like some companion or dog to go die for you, pretty much. And if that's not happening, you're not triggering this, which means you could leave this off the build and it would not affect. Which, to be fair, you're already shield gating, so just bring a broken ass weapon like the Burstin or some shit and declare the content for you, anyways. Anything to add?
Literally what I do.
Uh,
Literally.
it's just not a good augment. Like the healing is just dumb. Like you need if it had shield on here, then it'd be fine. But it has the healing. It has to be healing, and that makes no sense. But I digress. Anyways, going back to the first ability, which that being the Well of Life. Why? Why does Pool of Life exist? You already regenerate so much health, and you're not taking health damage in the first place. You don't need health orbs, and you're generating energy constantly with her too. So why does this exist? Like I understand there was a certain point in time where the game wasn't played this way, and this was literally here to actually help your teammates. But you knew the character needed a rework. You called this a rework. At least I believe they did, unless I'm misremembering. Um, and you decided not to change this augment. This shit is useless.
Yeah. It goes into other things about pool of life. Because if you're trying to use Champion's Blessing, you're not going to be using one in general, so you're not going to be using that augment in general. But I digress. Thanks for giving me energy and health. You know, the two things that this character literally fucking generates.
I would say if they wanted to change this, play into the fact that Well of Life now reses, so you could make this so that way, uh,
Whenever they or keep people from dying, they like get health and their energy back and shit.
like something like that would make a lot more sense. Or at the very least, that this reduces the cooldown on the res or some shit like that. Either way, like as it is right now, this is literally the worst possible version this mod could ever be, other than just being removed from the game. On to Vampire Leech. I personally use this again for shield gating. Not that you actually need it, but you know it's neat. Um, Basically, you get every time you get energy, you get shields. That's literally what it is. And 225% on a refresh is huge. Um,
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, you already need a fuck ton of strength to get as much from this as possible because it's based on the energy that you are replenishing. Which, if you're getting like 30 energy back, then 225% of that is not very great, especially whenever you're sitting at a constant like 3k shield or whatever. Um, but it is neat. If you're shield gating, you should just have this anyways. I don't really think there's anything that you could add to this, but if you want to,
No, I really can't.
a biting link. Okay, this is armor strip. I'm going to be completely honest. My thoughts on this is it's fucking useless. If you are not going to level cap, there's no reason to use this. Now, if you are wanting to go level cap, or you're trying to make the most meta build possible, then absolutely put this on. There's no reason not to, because every build should have some type of armor strip. Period.
The only thing better is, just removing Link and, putting Terrifier or some other actual armor stripping ability on.
I get what you mean. But the problem with that is that you
Is
get the
DR
DR.
loss.
Yeah, you get the DR. So if you wanted to make that argument, then I would say you would remove.
Pool of life about to get kicked the fuck
Yeah,
out.
yeah, you would remove Pool of Life for like Eclipse or something for even more DR, which is absurd. Um, and even
Literally what I
then,
was doing earlier.
you could actually make the argument that you would just replace this with Pillage, because that's an armor strip and shield.
Oh my god, I didn't think about that. I need to go farm out pillage. Fuck.
That'd be the only thing I would say to replace this with, and even then, you could still just replace Well of Life. So, like,
Yeah,
uh,
it's her fucking helmet off ability. If anybody disagrees, I don't know what to tell you.
and you know what? I think that goes into another thing. I hear this because I've seen this on my YouTube channel in comments. Like, bad abilities are actually really good because they give you a free ability to like sub zoom off, which is like that's a horrible line of thinking. You're basically saying this ability is so dog shit that I could just replace it with whatever I want and it'll still be better.
It If the helmet wasn't there, then that ability would drag down the character.
And
If
that
you,
that
it
that reminds me
just
because
it
I
doesn't
know
work.
Steve, Steve, Steve Sinclair, he talked about
Hmm.
how he thought it was annoying how many people were putting like roar on their builds
Yeah,
because and it was like you gave them the tools, you let this
you
happen.
gave them the tool. You allowed, yeah, exactly.
If
You
you didn't
allowed
like
them to
this, which
do
I
it.
don't like it to be fair, but like if anyone has the right to be upset, it's like someone like me, not you. You did this, like it's your fault.
You're the one that added this. You can either fix it by taking it away, or you just allow it to keep going. Like one of the two.
As for builds, this is my Trinity build. I think it's fine. Rolling guard, you could probably actually lose this, but again, this is just for like in the case of toxic or something like that. Um, this will clear all content. This is a heavy shield gate build.
Oh, that's what you use it for? If I remember correctly, Link gets rid of statuses. It
Oh, right.
doesn't
No, 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 no,
hit
no, no.
bars.
You're right. I think they did that in the update. So yeah, I could actually remove that and then just
Link also makes it where you don't need prime sure footed either.
yeah,
You literally just sit and just
because knockdown is considered a status for some reason. Um,
for some reason, I don't know. It just
so
it
yeah.
reminds me of the meme just and they stand there menacing a Link. It's just
And the only other thing, can I? Here you go. You know what? Boom. Pro build right here. That's amazing. Look at that. Just absolutely beautiful. So yeah, this is basically what your meta build will look like if you're just trying to shield gate. Um,
yeah.
I don't think you would really add anything here. I mean, now that we do have combat discipline, you could put on Champion's Blessing if you really want to, but yeah, that's pretty much it. And this is kind of where I'm at with Nyx. Now, if you'll notice, I have three augments. You absolutely can get rid of Chaos Sphere. This is a joke mod. This literally serves no purpose. So if you really wanted something else here, putting some type of other augment on here could be done. However, I would say you're probably better off putting something like adaptation on, just for that extra like shield durability.
Okay.
But I mean, really anything can go here. This is pretty much a throwaway slot. Like if you want rolling guard, put it on there. If you want intensify, put it on there. You know, literally anything. Energy siphon. This is literally just so I have something to go here because I didn't want to forma this character. Which, by the way, that's another thing I mentioned. Both those builds are zero forma, so easy build.